It is your boy, the Mulatto Ronin, back on at it again with another banger and fire video for y'all's out here today. They're y'all. Welcome on back to the channel. But guys, I gotta go in on another great, awesome topic. And the first thing I do want to say, I don't think I'm better than nobody, but I just want the truth to be out here. And I want to see other people that look like me. I want to see them socially aware of what's going on out here. And I need you to really understand, if you're walking around with this phenotype or closer shades to it, you are not black. And let me explain why. Especially here in America. I'll get into Africa too in a little bit as well, but especially here in America, you is not black. And I'm going to tell you why. Because there is big differences between how a person like me will be treated. Mind you, I'm not an ugly dude whatsoever. Yeah, I got a big forehead, I ain't gonna lie, but in general, if you're a woman looking at me, you can clearly see, yeah, this is a good looking dude. All right, we can all agree on that. So that's not the issue. I got the confidence, I put myself out there. The only thing I gotta work on my money, I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, I'm a brokey, I'll be up front with it. But I'm about to start barbering school next month, so hey, things are looking up. But money is up and down. But at the end of the day, I'm doing a lot of good stuff right. But I have paid attention to these dynamics for so many years and growing up and seeing literally in real time the dynamics between my skin tone and compared to white people and black people. And this must be said, guys, because I don't think that we are black. And especially the more I dig into the history of America and how people that look like me actually had their own class in America before it was erased due to the one drop rule. Yes, the mulattoes out here had their own class, but they got erased due to the one drop rule. Now, I'm MGM, so multi-generational mix, but still, you slap me next to a biracial mulatto out here, we look very similar. So we're both mixed. It's a bit different. Me, I'm multi-generational. Them on the other hand, they're first generation black and white or whatever the mix is, So that's the difference between them. Another thing too, you got the Blasians out there. You got Afro Latinos, the light skinned ones. And we go through a similar experience in general. Now, if we're not black, what are we? I call us the golden race of people. And I actually been reaching out to politicians, just organizations that really focus on race and who we are as a people and really trying to get us a class out here so we can get properly represented as people. Because if we don't do that, the issue with calling ourselves black, first of all, as a man, you don't reap the same benefits of the black community like a dark-skinned person. You don't. A lot of times people don't even see you as black. Black women have told me we don't really see y'all as black, but we do fuck with y'all. Some of them, like just depends on where you go. It don't matter if you look decent or whatever the case may be. But that's the reality for me. I don't have no protection like that. And the difference between a dark-skinned counterpart and me, I walk in the black community, red flags is going off in people's head. Insecurities are popping off. I'm the one that's going to get tested the most. And if you feel like you got to walk on eggshells in a so-called your own community, can you really call that your community? And a lot of light-skinned people in general know exactly what I'm talking about. And then you as a dark-skinned person, you walk in the community, oh yeah, you black. Even like I said in my last video, to all the mixed people as well, which we all got some mixture to us. But, since everybody like to use the term, oh, we all mixed, like you can't say that. Oh, yes, I can. Because I know this phenotype that I have, it offends people. That's the difference between me and you. You walk in the black community, you good. It don't matter if you dark-skinned, black and Puerto Rican, black people gonna see you as black. I walk in, like I said, guys, I'm white as fuck, man. Look at this. Y'all hear it in my voice. Y'all hear guys, y'all be hearing how I be talking. Come on now. Y'all see the freckles and all that shit. Come on. You can clearly see that your boy is mixed. And the reason why this is so important is so we can have proper identity and we have better control over a light-skinned mixed race image. Because listen, man, the black community has done a big number on us in terms of our image. You know, because you get some people, they'll say, oh nah, black is black, we good. But a lot of them, they don't see that. And I'm not saying this out of like division or nothing like that, divide type of, mentality. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying we belong in our own particular lane, because in general, especially us men, we tend to not really do good with a lot of people in society like that. There is heavy scrutiny on our name. And then another thing too, why would I claim black when it comes down with the most negative stereotypes that I got faced on the regular, whether it be by my own people and also outside communities, because people are so slow, they don't get to really truly get to know people for who they are. They're going based off what people are saying about this group of people and how they move. And then even when it comes down to even close family at times, they don't fully understand me and how I move. So that should tell me everything I need to know right there. And I'm MGM, but the difference is, I'm just waking up to knowing who I am. And a lot of MGMs, they're still black identified, so like that's really the big difference, and why, some of them even feel some type of way to people like me who know who they are. And this is very, very important, man, because like when it comes down to the stereotypes, especially the more I get into the gym, the more I start caring about myself, like really moving accordingly out here. It is so weird nowadays. I go outside. I don't know how it is for you dark skins out there, but for me, it is so weird that I get hit on by men majority of the time compared to women. And I'm up here telling me, I'm like, no, I'm straight. And they're just shocked. Like literally, guys, the faces of these men when I tell them, no, I'm straight. I don't do that. They're just flabbergasted. One dude even told me a while back, he's like, I thought y'all light skins was like that. I'm like, no. Like, this is how disconnected and retarded the average American is. This is why we need control over our image. And unfortunately, people see us as heavy competition. This is why people want to throw all this shit on our name. And this is, listen, I'm not here to go to war with the black community, nothing like that. I just want to acknowledge that, hey, we ain't black. We in our own lane. Like I said before, we is the golden race of people. And you need to tell that to your children, because I see a lot of black men, they swirling. They out here with the white women, all these different groups of people. You need to tell them, hey, you is not black. You need to let them know up front. So that way they don't grow up confused out here. But if you a type of person gonna be like, oh nah, they black, they this and that, you are setting that child up for failure. Because especially as a son, because now that child is gonna grow up and he's gonna be very confused. He's not gonna know why certain things are happening to him. He's not gonna know why he has to really work the extra mile and go the extra far distance to really get the woman that he wants. Because unfortunately, it's going to take time, especially, well, not so much now, but, a lot of us are really waking up. But before the internet, people didn't know about us in terms of like how we move and really understood us and how to really understand certain things. It is getting better, but man, like you're setting your child up for failure if you're going to tell them that, hey, man, they're black. No, that's not true. And let me get into Africa, because I know a lot of people are going to be like, oh, well, in Africa, you can be all these different shades of black. Look at Egypt. Egypt has, they're very, very mixed. A lot of Northern Africa, very, very mixed. Because Egypt, you had the Romans, all different groups of people came in, invaded, and they started race mixing. So you can miss me with that with Africa as well. And then on top of that, with the European colonization, I can go on and on, so race mixing has been going on even throughout Africa for quite some time. Yes, I know genetics is crazy. There is that small percentage that can still come out a certain way, but you can tell right off the rip, And one thing I do want to make clear to all the black people that's going to feel a certain type of way. Listen, I'm looking at these other groups of community. They really don't fuck with y'all like that. I'm letting y'all know. As a racially ambiguous man walking around, like when I look at certain Hispanics, like certain Mexicans and certain like from certain parts of the US and certain groups of people, they really are out here just trying to extort you. Like that's what I'm seeing. They really don't rock with y'all like that. And we seeing it clear as day. But hey, but it's cool. If you want to swirl and make more people like me, that's cool, because now we more competition. And we can actually put each other on game and really help each other come up. But the difference also, another thing too, this is why I noticed. See, when you're racially ambiguous, you get to see kind of everybody for who they are. See, at least with white people, they gonna work together and they gonna build and really get to the top. Then fucking each other over. Black people, on the other hand, they finna fuck each other over at the bottom. Y'all ain't even made it to the top yet. That's the difference. So, in terms of the racially ambiguous, why everybody want the most control over him, because if we knew who we are, we knew our history correctly, we knew how to move, we'll be unstoppable. And we're seeing that shift starting to change. And that's why a lot of people, remember guys, at one time, you have to keep in mind as a black person, like I said before, you put me next to a first generation mulatto, biracial, you're going to see the difference. Like guys, you're going to see how similar we look. Race mixing used to be illegal. So keep that in mind. And it's just so many dynamics out here. And you just got to understand, like, we got a whole nother different life. Oh, and another thing about us golden people as well, when it comes down to socially and self-control, this is what sets us apart from a lot of black people, white people, Hispanics definitely, because y'all motherfuckers, y'all pop off over any little thing. Not all y'all, but a good amount of y'all. But see, there is a misconception about us, especially as men, that, oh, we're soft, we let everything slide. No, because we know the agenda in terms of us. A lot of people really want us to crash out and get out of the system as fast as possible. Like, I noticed that. So if you see a lot of us racially ambiguous mulatto type of men not really fucking with nobody, we don't think we're better than anybody. We're not soft walking around. We're smart and very, very, very intelligent people. So I already know socially, a lot of people want us to crash out, especially when you look decent. This is when people will try you a lot. Now, I learned from a young age to not join in on other people's chaos, because it's going to end up with me doing something horrific to somebody. So you have to get very, very good at like as a racially ambiguous mulatto type of person to walk away from people and not fuck with nobody. So as the racially ambiguous mulatto type of man comes off as socially awkward at times, this is the reason why. Because it's a lot of misconceptions about us. And on this channel, I'm here to unfold it. And I'm also here to really grow us in terms of community and make us stronger, get us into, like politics and stuff, even though I hate politics, but we got to get some political power out here to really change these dynamics and really get some good protections on us, because I'm the last group of people anybody want to see come up. Last group, so there's a reason why these dynamics and all that shit exists, and why America, a lot of people fear us in general, because we, out of everybody walking around, we have literally the most possibilities to make it out and really become the most powerful. And that's very, very important. So if you're wondering why certain dynamics exist and why it happens to the man, and I can't speak for what the woman goes through in terms of her experiences, but I've been learning a little bit. We do have kind of a similar experience. So I actually been learning about the light-skinned, racially ambiguous woman, her experience as well, and what she's going through. And on top of that, another thing too, I got to make clear, us racially ambiguous mulatto type of people in the future, once we get all established and everything, us men, I think it's very, very important for us. Like, listen, I'm still open for race mixing. Like if you meet somebody that really do rock with you and you really know that shit click, go ahead and do it. But at the end of the day, I do want to make it clear, us golden people, we should definitely try to, reproduce within each other, in my opinion. Because our numbers aren't really as big and we need to really gain, political power. We need to really gain a stake out here because we don't have much power yet. We're strong people. That's not the issue. But we don't have social power and we definitely don't have really much economic power. And until we become a solid class of people and we have our own class similar to South Africa, a lot of these dynamics are just not going to change. And a lot of people are going to be like, well, in terms of marriage and everything, I know a lot of men, they're against marriage. And listen, we do have to proceed and come at it a different way. And I do understand why a lot of men feel like that. But you need to really look around and see how you're moving. A lot of us are really moving pretty good out here, especially as men in this day and age. A lot of us are waking up. We're hitting the gym. We're doing a lot of good stuff right. And when I look around, I see a lot of people who are married. Guess what? They're not doing a lot of stuff right. They're fat. They're out of shape. They have no drive. They have no vision for nothing bigger. And they wonder why their girl cheats on them. A lot of men are so weak nowadays, they're okay with letting their girl cheat and still come back to them. Now in terms of a lot of men, they're going to be like, well, oh, she's probably ran through and this and that. You got to change that mindset. Like, if you know the tomfoolery that comes with you as a man and what you got to go through just to get somewhere, imagine what she got to go through. And she don't have a safe space to come through. She's relying off the black community, for sustainability. That's what she relying off of. She really do want you. Do not get it twisted out here. So I'm not saying wife up, the biggest 304 out here. Hell no. But I'm just saying, especially for us type of men, minority within a minority. We got to have some type of heart. And when it comes down to our type of woman, because it's really sad to see when I look around the amount of effort that is put in place to really keep us two apart. Stop listening to the black community when they say, oh, y'all look like brothers and sisters. Y'all need to do this and that. Nah, do not let the black community dictate anything about us. We are in our own particular lane. She knows that as well. And the more I'm getting to know how racially ambiguous mulatto type of women move, we're very, very similar. Both of us, man and woman. And we're going to see that dynamic definitely change in the future. We're going to see a lot more stronger families between us because there was a time where we did have really strong families. And in case you didn't know, back in history, the mulatto class, it was actually the strongest one. It was the strongest. We had the cleanest neighborhoods, I think, out of everybody. And, we did like really good in school, all types of stuff. That's not to throw shade at the dark-skinned black people, but, that's the truth going back in history. And basically what they were saying, back in history, they were saying, after slavery and everything, when the blacks first got that freedom, they didn't know how to act. And, and I ain't gonna lie, they were so used to a certain type of way of life, but they didn't know how to keep shit really sustained in their own community and shit. It was kind of fucked up a bit, but don't get me wrong, like it was still strong families and marriages and stuff back then. But the mulatto people, our shit was sharp as fuck. Like we had that shit on point. So that's a difference. But yeah, I just had to make this quick video. And like I said, I'm not here to divide. I'm not here on some hating shit. I got a lot of respect for my dark skinned homeboys who really been rocking with me and they understand my message. The ones that can look at me and be like, yeah, man, we know you're not black. We know you MGM, mulatto, or, like we know you're mixed, The ones that already know and we got a good mutual respect and we look out for one another, we good. I ain't got no problem. But I just had to make this video because I'm tired of seeing too much confusion. I'm tired of seeing people looking like me going through what they're going through and not being aware of certain dynamics. But that's all I got to say. It's your boy, the Mulatto Ronin. Like and subscribe, share. Y'all take it easy.